everyone, welcome back. So wanted to say hi ahead of time before I dive into this reading. I want to check in and see if any of the state or even county certifiers, electoral, certifiers, if they'll refuse to certify the election in 2024. And, because that could, well, if they do, I'm sure that they'll be sued. And I doubt that they will win, but they would most likely maybe try to appeal, and possibly it could go up to the Supreme Court. So I think I'll probably wind up doing a series of readings to figure out, how it's going to go, or if this will happen. Anyway, so living in the most challenging times, right? Let me just bring over my table and get this going. Hold on. Okay, so took me a while to figure out which system I wanted to use, and then I realized it's got to be the Lennies, and so I'm using the Dondorf Lenormand, and I'm going to do a grand tableau. So because we have a man and a woman card, of course the woman would be Kamala, and I'm going to assign the man to be Biden. Because if the election is delayed, or not the election itself, but the certification process, if it's delayed, then Biden, of course, would be sitting in, and especially if it goes like past the lame duck, period. Like if it goes out so far that it's beyond the January 20th inauguration, and if any state's going to mess it up, it's probably going to be Georgia. Because so far, I remember for sure Colorado and Michigan and New York, and there's one other, and I just can't remember, but they had, they made it really hard for anybody to overturn the election results. So, and they had passed some laws to protect voters as well, and poll workers. So anyway, thank goodness for that ECRA, what's it called? Electoral Count Reform Act. Thank goodness that went in. Oh, actually, I think there was a presidential transition in there as well, too. But that went in 2022. Of course, because of you-know-who. Okay, how will the certification process go? How will the election certification process go? There. Okay, so let me just get them laid out first. So the deal is, there are going to be two states with obstacles there. The deal with a grand tableau, the reason I wanted to do it is because we get not only the card, but we get the house. So it's like getting two cards in each position. Oh, obstacles being minimized. Okay. So Georgia and one other state, I think, is what I'm getting over there. But let's see how it's going to go. Now, this is excellent to have in the tower. That's protection, legal protection. The tower would be our legal card. Here's Kamala, and she's being blocked. Delayed. She's being delayed. Dang it. Here's the election right here. The election looks like it's super strong there because it's in the House of Bear. Okay. Yeah, she's going to get a little bit of a rest before Biden will just hunker down. He'll stay there and stay there for her. But and he lands in the House of Anchor. Okay. The fox in the house across, so the guilty ones will be revealed. They'll be revealed. I mean, of course they'll be revealed because they're going to try to take everything to court. But it looks like there's some protection there. So, okay, I'll just go with the normal rules, and then I'll focus in on Biden and Kamala. But so opening up with the rider, this is the public mood. I'm sorry, the moon in the house of rider. So here's the movement, here's the news, and with the moon here, we've got the public mood, where, well, let's see. On one level, with the public mood, they want movement. We want to go and we want to get it done. This is our country's reputation on the line. The moon's also, creativity. Now, this could be that there's a lot of movement that evening of the election. Like a major landslide. And that's what we have to do. We have to, it has to be too big to even question. But it looks like there's an obstacle, and I think this would be two different states, or there's at least the opportunity for obstacles, but they're small. So the changes that they're trying to make are coming from, it has to come from a swing state, but being with the ship, or being in the ship house, the ship has to do with, it's ruled by Jupiter, so it's about, and it's, Jupiter to me has to do a lot with law, so the legal, situations, but there's that change, right? It's all about change. So there is small obstacles to the change. Now, the book card coming through the house, now the house to me would be the foundation of we could say it's the White House. We could say it's the foundation of our, the foundation and the safety and the security of our election and our nation. Now, with the book card here, now the book can have to do with something being examined. Of course, right? Doesn't it make sense that the votes will be examined? All right, now that's interesting. What's in the book over here? Okay, so there could be a lot of examination. That's interesting. Like maybe recounting it more than once in some states or in a couple states. Where's the whip? Right here. I don't usually use this deck. Okay. So there'll be an end to the recount, but there is that burden. Well, this is interesting. Okay. Let me do the four corners first, and then I want to check over there. So this is Biden's house with the tree here. He's going to dig his roots in. He's going to hold, just hold space and be there. When it comes to timing with this card, it can be, at the worst, it can be 6 to 12 months. This is a card of analyzing. This is a card of, the system of our judicial, 3 branches, right? The executive, judicial, and the whole, Congress. So, and SCROTUS is in there too. Yeah, but anyway, this is Biden holding space if it goes beyond. And the public mood, meanwhile, just really wants to move on. But there's this burden. There's this darn burden. There's the burden of having to prove That's the cross to bear. And in the house of bouquet or flowers, that brings through, recovery. So we will recover from the burden. So that's good. And then the cross, so here's, the cross card, the cross house, we have the fox. And the fox is the scam artist. These will be the tricky states. And this would be Trump trying to steal the election again. The hidden agenda, the scam artist, the Don the Con, literally Don the Con, with his hair that used to go red when he would try to dye it blonde and whatever, This guy's a little backstabber and very, very cunning. And, the liar, this is the liar card. Now, this is Biden's card here, because here's the man, even though this is the house, right? And with the anchor, he's going to be, he's going to hunker down and stay there until this burden is, caught and put away. At least Trump is not in the White House, and then we're trying to get him out like it was, January 6th, 2021. At least he's not there. So, but there's going to be a lot of success here, fish, a lot of success for Biden. The most important thing to get out of all of this looks to be that everything will be just fine when it eventually comes down. With the lilies in the moon house, so again, the public mood here is that Biden has our back, that he's, the wisdom, the heartfelt wisdom. How'd you guys like that 4.5-minute standing ovation he got yesterday at the DNC? Wasn't that something last night? Man. So again, recovery. Okay, so we've got recovery here. Movement, wise movement. And meanwhile, Kamala is, and here she is right here, blocked and delayed. Just not totally blocked, but delayed. The mountain card is just, delays. And it's painful for her. It's really painful to have the coffin there. It's going to cause some depression, and she's going to feel very dismissed and disrespected, and, but she does have that team. They have, one of my awesome viewers let me know that, I'm so sorry, I can't remember your name, but I love the comment that the Biden campaign had already brought in Mark Elias and his team, and they already had the whole system in place to fight. So, but she's depressed about the vote. So the letter, this is interesting. The letter card is the votes. Here she is with all the massive votes, and she's in. But she wants to get, well, of course, she's still going to be vice president until she's, sworn in. So she's still there in the White House. But it's like it just kind of gnaws at her, because she wants to go from her vice presidential quarters to, Madam President. But she's blocked there by these people trying to play around in those states, and I'm sure Georgia will be the one, and maybe one other state. Now, let's see. If we're looking for SCOTUS, I don't see any. I don't see any trouble there, honestly, because the doggy card, being very, very protective and loyal, is in the house of the legal. The little tower card in the Lenormand is the legal. house. And then let's see, where is the tower? Here it is up here. Yeah, I think they're going to stay, so I think SCOTUS is going to stay small. And we may have some new important laws that come in after this, you know. That's the problem, is we need to get rid of the damn electoral college, and then there wouldn't be any of this issue. So yeah. Now, let's see. Let me focus in on Kamala here, and then I'll focus in on Biden. So, like I said, she's delayed. It's going to nag the heck out of her. But she's going to do the best she can to minimize how she wants to just beat somebody up. But the little nigglies are going to just keep coming in there and coming in there. It's going to be hard for her. Like, how dare they, right? But on another level, because she landed here, although she's delayed, and although she knows, you know, about the secret enemies and she's working, you know, sometimes the mountain card can just be delayed for 1 month because it's, you know, 21 days or 1 month. That's possible there, that it's really just a month. I hope that's all it is. But anyway, to have the mice come in the house of the whip house, or the whip card, and here it is up here. These are cards of actions. So she's going to have to take, you know, painful actions that she doesn't want to have to deal with, but she will. But then again, maybe the obstacles will be minimized, and the actions will be minimized as well, because look at this loyalty here, and everybody's talking about it, right? Everybody's talking about it. The danger or the issue will recover. The flowers is recovery, as well as the clover. So yeah, and then where did the clover? Where's my little clover card? Oh, come on, you can find it right here. Yeah, right. So that's interesting. It's right above her. So yeah, and I had already said, so there's recovery. The recovery will be successful. The public will be patient, will be wise, will be patient. Meanwhile, I think it's going to increase the vulnerability of these, you know, these dark players. And, you know, we're seeing them go to court and be sentenced, is what I'm getting, even more than what's come out. Maybe Fani Willis will be able to get her thing going. Maybe all of this will just energize the judges that just are sick of this, you know, all of this garbage that Trump has put us all through. He's been torturing us since 2015. We're pushing 10 years, you know. I mean, how about the 9th year is like the last year we ever have to deal with this guy, ever. How about that? He's just a liar, con man, and a thief. So, but anyway, while Kamala is waiting, she's going to be out participating with the public, speaking and speaking and speaking, and she's going to have her loyal following, and we're all just, we're so like right there with her. And now the pathway card, like I said, is an election. So she's strongly, it's really important that even though it's delayed, because we have the House of Clouds, which can be kind of hesitation, but the key will just break through. It's an important breakthrough for this election, and she's in there strongly, and that's further reiterated by these two cards knighting together. The vote, the election vote, it's going to be nagging her. I know I'm veering out of this 9 box here, but the vote is, it's going to be nagging her. She's going to do her best to minimize the toxicity that Trump is putting out, because he's going to take it and, you know, run with it. That's always been his plan. Even if he loses, he's going to say that the election was rigged, and he's trying to act like our elections aren't safe and stable. Just because that's Putin's playbook. He's Putin's little sock puppet right now. Who said that? Somebody called him a sock puppet. I saw it this morning on the news. Who called him a sock puppet? I've always called him Putin's puppet. Somebody called him a sock puppet, and I love that. So anyway, where she is in this position where she will recover. The subterfuge and the obfuscation will be revealed because it's in the house of Fox. So the fox will kind of like pry open, and the clouds will move away. I'm not seeing the book card as revealing as being about secrets, but well, if we did go for it that way, I'm seeing it as examinations now, which would be analyzing all the the votes, the recount or whatever. So here we could have the recount, but because the book is knighting up here, I see this as her putting her hand on the Bible, because this can literally be a book. If it has to do with secrets, then the secrets are something that's hidden, not necessarily secret, but whatever's hidden is small. And that's further reiterated with this card, like this toxicity being minimized. But with the Garden Parks card to be in the House of Tree, again, they're analyzing the count, they're examining, and with the public, it's like we're all right there with, we're all together in it. Let's see. As far as, she's got the vote. The election is strongly hers. She's our new mama bear, Kamala Mamala, right? And she's firmly planted, together with Biden. And she's this wise woman that we're so happy to have. Wow. Okay, so what else? Let's see. Now let's look at Biden. So Biden's here, firmly anchored down. He's normally, when I prefer to have the people card up at the top because it gives them more power. But, when we're dealing with an election count that's being questioned, neither one of them are in a position of power. They have to wait for the legal process to play out because they're honest. They're not like Trump, right? So it makes sense that they both come down here. But Biden is firmly planted. He's our rock. He's our anchor. And he's looking at success, and a lot of success, major success. And maybe this comes because the House of Ring, maybe this comes full circle in the fall, because this is the house of, fall time, autumn, which makes me wonder if maybe it doesn't take all the way through. I mean, goodness, if it took a whole year, then this card would make sense, but that's scary to think that we wait a whole year. But my goodness, my dearest Lori over at the Way of Positive Change, I think she did get something like that, like it could be a year, like it took a year. Oh my goodness, I can't imagine though, not with that new law. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. We'll just have to wait and see, because I trust her dreams. She's really, really good when the dreams come through, man. And when you get them, you get them. You got to say what you got. So anyway, he has the fish above him, and he's looking at the house of fish with success. And then the fish comes through in the book house. Again, the book can be the examination. So maybe there is a lot of examination. Or maybe the flow of examination comes through with a big whack and there's a decision that comes full circle, which is helpful for her. Now, you know what? Let's look at her. Let me veer off from over here a little bit. I just had an idea. So the cards coming up behind her are very positive. She's protected, legally protected and loved, and she's, this is like her spirit guides. She has so much help, and we have so much trust in her. She has the loyalty, and she feels like our best friend, And we listen to her with whatever she says, and the public loves her as well. With the garden is now the Garden Parks card is also social media, the house and the card. So here we are with the social media, and it came through up here in the House of Trees. So she will be, on social media, and look how we have that line here, and she is above, the painful, you being kind of stuck in a box and wanting to get a move on. So that's okay, that's cool there. But she will be communicating about the election. Improvement will be kind of minimized for a while. And like I said, she wants to be in the White House. Biden wants to be, doing his own thing. Then again, maybe he doesn't mind hanging in there longer. For whatever it takes, it's fine. It'll all work out. And then, all of a sudden, she's free. And her heart is just like, woo! And how we feel about her too. There's just so much love and care, but then with the scythe coming in here through, sometimes it can have to do with like the tools a person uses, or it can just be something. Yeah, that's what I'm getting. Something sudden. All of it, like we're waiting, and then something suddenly comes full circle, and the allegiance, the loyalty comes in. And also the dark, betrayal, the connections, because with the snake card being in the House of Stars, and then here's the Stars card as well. To me, this is all the connections, all the dangerous, complicated betrayal, and those connections are just cleared. And then here she is in that major flow, even though the fish are going this way, but I have to just kind of let that go, because none of the cards are ever perfect, except for the people. I tend to read very directionally. But so what I'll say is just that there's a sudden flow and movement for her in the White House. And the letter would be the actual legal documents that are very strong and, protective. And there she is in the White House. But there's all that examination that has to happen first. And then with the letter, this again, that's the election. The pathway would be my election house. And then here we are with the votes. But she's headed to the White House. So I don't want you guys to worry, because she's headed that way. Biden's already there, so that makes sense. He's kind of held down in that one spot. Maybe he wants to get going. The flow will come. All the connected dark ones and betrayal, and this is Trump, that will all be revealed. That'll all be revealed. I don't think he's going to have the protection he wants. It's all for money and power for him, and to stay out of jail, right? I mean, yeah. So, okay. So the election is strong for her, and it'll suddenly clear through, but meanwhile, Biden's there for us. Let's see, anything else? I didn't do like a timing thing. Like if you were doing a grand tableau for yourself, or you had me do it for you, I would indicate like, a week, month, like we'd have 8 weeks, or 9 weeks or 9 months, something like that. I didn't set that intention. I just set the intention to see how it would go. So I guess as things progress, because, this is still August. So we're going to be prepared. And maybe, who knows? This is just the reading for now, for the way it looks like it'll go for now. But maybe something changes. Maybe some new law is put into place. Maybe, because Biden is like, he knows this is it. SCOTUS has given presidential immunity, for official acts. And so maybe he gets something, maybe he brings something in that can change all this. I don't know. I mean, it really doesn't make sense to me because it's all on the states, and then we still have the House, Republican-controlled House for now. Yeah. The cards knighting to him show how complicated it is, the plans, the actions, with the Stars card, the intention that he wants, or with the Stars house, his intentions are it's all just messed up because this is a betrayal. It's a detour. Let's just call it that. There's a detour on like the GPS of the nation. There's a detour on the path of Biden, and now he has to sit, with the anchor, he has to stay. But he's loyally there in place, and yeah, and then the the direction we're all going is good. We get our wish. It comes through. It's delivered by the stork, finally. It's like waiting for a baby to be born. I hope that doesn't mean it's 9 months. God, that would be awful. Can you imagine what we'd all be going through? And how much just vitriol. I mean, we would have to be, I'll just only speak for myself. I will have to pray my ass off daily to not, put negative energy out there towards the stinker. And maybe we all will. Maybe it'll be a good thing to go, maybe we'll all grow through it somehow. Oh my goodness. Okay. I feel like focusing right in here for some reason, maybe just because it's like right in my eyesight, but with the clouds being in the house of Fox. So again, remember the Fox is the fraud. If something's wrong, we're being, stabbed in the back, manipulated and lied to, and it's kind of like a trap. The Fox can be a trap. And then, maybe Biden feels kind of trapped, even though I'm sure he's fine holding space. I mean, my goodness, like the fact that he stepped down like he did, man, we're gonna love him forever for, putting his ego and his pride aside and going with what is best for the nation rather than what he wanted. So anywho, okay. The clouds, to bring in the clouds, again, doubts will be a choice. Okay? We're going to have to fight to stay out of self-doubt in the whole process. Distortions are going to be crazy. This is going to be like the smoke and mirrors out in the public, in social media. Lies, or not lies with the book, but secrets and distortions and smoke and mirrors. And the child card, I'm or the house of child, it's usually something small, something new, or it could be a child. I feel like this is childlike, not innocence, but, just being very, very naive and gullible. But the key up here in the house of clouds, that brings through, that opening and that big solution that comes through, even though it's delayed. Even though it's delayed. And the snake, or the anchor here, knighting to the clouds, which are, the subterfuge and the obfuscation, and then to have the anchor up here. The anchor is feeling stuck in the, we're, like I said, I'm just going to be praying all the time because I'm going to want to say something really bad all the time about who, and we're gonna have to stay grounded to stay out of that snaky energy, to stay out of that toxic energy. But also, the House of Snake is, and the snake itself, that card, is all about somebody that wants to harm, right? You have to be careful. So it can be complications and detours, and it's, and with the anchor there, we're feeling stuck, feeling tied down. But if we stay, so to get out of the complication, because the snake can just be like a detour, right? Just like you have to get around the mountain, snake can be a detour. What happens when you're having to go around something, usually you work through it. And then there can be a little bit of a cleansing, like, we're shedding the skin. And with the anchor card, like combining those meanings, this is where we have to be really grounded and tied, really, tight. Like, you want to make sure rope doesn't get off and we don't get away from our goal. That's the main thing. Just hanging in there with your goal. Because the complications could take some time. And then again, with the vote, and then the letter card could be the document that gets her in the White House. Again, we're waiting for like legal issues. And that's reiterated here with the Tower card, being the legal issues. Yeah. And then, it sucks because all this is weighing down on Biden and Kamala, But again, the gifts, we always have to, no matter what, I'll just close up with this. Otherwise, I could stay here forever just looking. And for you guys who've taken my lessons, put your comments in, do the knighting to all the cards. And combine with the houses, and the knighting is like 2 over and 1 up, or 1 up, 1 over and 2 up. Like this one would be 1 over and 2 down. So important clearing. It gets her into the White House. So anyway, she'll get there eventually. And what was the thing? I was going to say one last thing, and I lost it. Oh my God. Look at all this, like my mind is mush. Shoot. What was it? Oh well, I think it's gone now. I think it's gone. I totally lost it. I'm just going to get this uploaded. If I think of it later, I'll drop it in a comment and you guys can all make fun of me, which I don't mind. It's your job. Okay, bye you guys. Take good care.